I'm in Colorado Springs, working on something that I've been diligently pursuing for about less than a year, probably closer to about 8 months, 8 to 10 months. I've been pursuing this. Amateur boxing champions. I know I've made a few announcements on the podcast, and people around the country now know about amateur boxing champions. But basically, I'm creating or have created a platform uh, for the amateur boxing system, so that everybody can see what's coming next. You know about all about the champions, you know all about the prospects and the contenders, but what you don't know is Keyshawn Davis is what 2 fights away from me becoming a prospect very quickly, and I think that he was able to capitalize on the opportunity that was presented to him. He turned pro, even though he was an Olympian, because of the 2020 everything that happened in 2020. He moves forward, starts his professional career. Olympics get back going in 2021. He's qualified. He goes out of the professional ranks back into the amateur ranks to pursue his Olympic dreams. And I think he has a higher profile as a professional now due to what he did at the Olympic Games, winning 3 fights and coming up just short, losing the fourth fight and winning a silver medal at the 2020 Olympic Games. And I personally think that a lot of people know about him now and everything that because of everything he accomplished at the Olympic Games. And I think the boxing community knows that more times than not, the guys who go on to the Olympic Games, win medals, do very well at the Olympic Games. Usually those guys turn pro and end up becoming everything you can be as professional boxers. So I'm trying to bridge the gap, y'all. I'm trying
Okay.
to create a way for everyone to tune in and get more familiar with these athletes much sooner than when they become 10-0 as pros and on their way to a world championship title. So what we're doing this week, we'll be here for 3 days, and we'll just be interviewing the fighters, getting these one-on-ones in with these fighters, so that we can create a profile for them. And we'll start here, and then we'll build it from there.
Hey, question, man. I don't know if Shane or you really know about what I'm about to ask you about, but I know Hadrico does. In high school football, I guess you can call that amateur football or whatever, or in college, but there's a ranking system called 24/7, Sean,
Yeah.
and it goes from 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, and 2 stars. And I don't know if they do 1 stars. They possibly do.
They don't hurt nobody for this.
Yeah, they don't hurt nobody's feelings. But is that be like something like that you would do? Would you give guys like five gloves and 4 gloves, and would it be something like that, or how would you rank
It's
these
not
guys?
necessary.
Okay.
Well, these guys win national tournaments. They
Mm-hmm.
go on and fight in championship tournaments. So there's already a ranking system in place.
Okay.
I really don't need to touch that. Won't touch that.
Okay.
What I really want to do, I call it the LeBron James effect,
All right.
and that happened because I was talking to a gentleman that deals with the NBA, and I was telling him what I wanted to do. I want to create something so that people can see the athletes, and he said, create an app. I said, yeah, you think so? He said, man, I can sit right here at my desk right now and see who's going to be next in the NBA. I
Mm-hmm.
said, wow. He said, I learned about LeBron James when he was about 17, 18 years old. No, I didn't have the app in my hand at that point in time, but they had a platform. They had ways that people could connect with them, especially scouts and things like that, so that they can see what talented athletes are around the country playing basketball. And I said, you know what? That makes sense. A lot like LeBron James, when I was 17, 18, I was fighting in world championship tournaments, but nobody ever heard about it because there was no platform, there was no exposing. So
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of taken that understanding and I'm applying that approach to boxing. It's something that literally has never been done. Yes, there is USAboxing.org, which is obviously the boxing website where you can see the rankings and things like that. But this is going to be a little bit more professional. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking the amateur boxing and I'm adding a professional twist that everybody really takes to in the professional game. So everybody that I know that follows me, that didn't follow me because they knew me and didn't follow me because they were in the boxing game. I'm talking about just, that 40, 50-year-old, 40, 50 plus year old audience that I have is because they saw my story. It's because they got connected to me through what I had been through as a kid or what my dad had been through, or what we collectively have been through. So that's what I'm going to do starting tomorrow. I'm going to get these 30-minute interviews. We're going to get into these guys' lives and expose who they are now. And then we'll just grow it from there. As the rankings change, as guys move in, guys move out, we'll make our adjustments and just keep this bad boy rolling.
And how would that work? Will you take your team and will y'all be traveling to countries to local tournaments, or how will people like updating rankings and stuff like that?
We start here. We start in the U.S.
Oh, we start. I believe. You about to? Because if you go into another country, I'm hired.
Wait a minute.
Stop
it. I'll be going with you. I have a passport. Okay.
Hold on. I got a fucking passport.
Okay. I have a passport. I've been to multiple countries. I'm trained, ready to go.
I was gonna ask if you've been to, you got your passport, but you've been somewhere.
He's a killer. He's in the military. He killed people before.
We're not killers, okay? Listen, I've saved lives. I worked in the hospital. Man, I done been to Prague, Germany, France, Belgium, Czech Republic, Africa. And when I got to Africa, I did do the requirement. I did take one of my children. I held them up into the sky like the Lion King, and we played the music out loud because you have to do that. I mean, it's Africa. But like I said, we don't bend it just about everywhere. So when you doing this, let me know, ready to roll. But to tie into what you just said, when you said that connectivity piece, that's huge, because if you can get somebody to learn that boxer early, if you get somebody who can learn what that boxer does, I start falling in love with him, and then he gets that one loss. No, but really, so just to carry on to what he was saying, when you getting that boxer from that young age and you start building that story, that connection piece comes. It's almost like when you're watching like a Contender or you're watching some of these shows, when you see these guys working when nobody knows him, you start to build like, oh man, who is this Hadrico guy? And then as you see him rise and go through the ranks, it's almost like it's like a story, like a movie motion picture that you see this kid grow. And even when they do take a loss, you don't necessarily get rid of them because you've actually grown with them. You start becoming sympathetic and you start realizing like, oh, he only lost because of this, because of that. When people start making excuses for you, that's when you don't made it, man. That's when somebody know you.
And for somebody, I think this would be perfect if this was 10 years earlier for Shane Mosley. A lot of people with you, Shane Mosley Jr., a lot of people look at you like you're a gift at everything. People don't, I know your story, man. People don't understand the BS you went through, Shane. Like, what if you had something like this when you were coming up?
I mean, I think it would have been great. I think it would have been a great platform and be able to have like that, the eyes on you. But I'm thankful for what I've had to go through, the Contender, like losing, all those things. I think it's a part of the journey, and it makes you a stronger man, it makes you a stronger person, a stronger athlete, stronger fighter, just all those things. It helps groom you, because when you have all those experiences and things like that, you take everything that you are as a man into the ring, right? So all those things are important. But as far as the platform is concerned, I think that is a great tool. And I think that a lot of these athletes will appreciate that, and we'll see a lot of stars from it, I think
they also appreciate it from your standpoint. You did a hell of a job fighting out of a shadow, being your own man. And so when I can start learning your story, who you are, then it just really makes me separate who you are as a boxer. So I think it's a great tool that y'all got going on. Colorado Springs is also a great place, man. I lived there about 7 years. I've been everywhere.
Yeah, I see that, man.
I've been in just about everywhere.
You've been in a lot of places.
That's the whole point, kind of going back to the LeBron James effect. And what I like to say is people have been watching him since he's 17, 18 years old. I'm 34. He's 36, 37 now. Yeah. And those same people that watched him when he was 18, 19, they've grown with him. They've watched him. They know his story. They're always connected to him. And so that's what I want to do with this platform. I just want it to be a way for people to connect with the fighter much sooner than when he turns pro, much sooner than when he gets his first or she gets their first world championship title. And then you're connected to those fighters their entire journey. You see the whole journey, and you want to be a part of that journey. And, that's the whole purpose of Amateur Boxing Champions. You guys can go to the website now, amateurboxingchampions.com. It is up. It's active. But now we're really about to get some meat and potatoes on this bad boy now. So
I think
I try to. You see what I try to do? I try to go with an old school Southern quote like my man Trev over
that's
there.
what I'm talking about.
Like he always pulling.
And don't worry, I got a couple of them for you today. Don't worry, they coming. You know what I'm saying? You can't say nothing slick to a can of oil. You understand me? I'm ready for you.
Yeah.
That sounds like what the hell was that?
You can't say nothing slick to a can of oil.
Things. Yeah, well, just a couple more things on the app because, you know, something like Shane Mosley, for instance, Jr. And having to fight out of his out of his father's shadow, like you just said, Trev. When you have to do something like that, you need to be as visible as possible because if you're not visible, the only thing people know is the name, and they connect the name to what they already know. You know, so I think it's taken some time for people to understand that Shane enjoys fighting, that Shane can fight, and Shane wants to be a champion. You know, but it's taken a road for people to really understand that. You know, so I want people to get connected to that road before it's in the fast lane and they just got to jump on and ride the wave. You know, I want people to jump on much sooner than that.
You know, another aspect, a piece of this is when you're doing that, these other people who want to find the new boxers, who find these things, they now come to this website because this becomes the hub of if you want the next great thing, this is where you're going to look at it at. Yeah. And boxing has really made a resurgence. You know, they had the golden years and they had them years where really everybody wasn't really watching. But right now, boxing is popping. And I'm not just talking about with fists. So, see what I did there? So you want to throw that in. But at the same time, I think this is a great tool to kind of get people connected with people because when you make that connection, oh, man, you got a fan for life.
Yeah. And I just think with the social media age, Shawn, you're doing this all it's timing. It's perfect timing. You know, you always say, Anthony, relax. Everything's about timing. This one, perfect timing, bro. You might have something here, but